All right, guys, welcome back to episode 18 of Royally Quacked, the Ducks Kings podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Cody, and I'm joined by my other co-host,
Gary.
All right, guys, this is going to be a very news-heavy podcast, and I'm just going to we're probably going to save all our draft recap, and since free agency starts tomorrow as we're recording, or technically today when you're listening to this, or hopefully you're listening to this on Monday, but we're gonna do everything next weekend. So that fantasy draft we had last week, we'll probably push it. I'll give you all the recap of that, and we'll tell you exactly who won, who scored, and who the Conn Smythe was. If you guys have any ideas, you can feel free to give a guess, and we'll see if you can get it, if whoever gets it right. So we'll save all those for another podcast because this podcast can be pretty heavy, news heavy. So, all right, let's start off with Kings news.
Hi, fans. Kings news. First of all, we got some signings. We have Samuel Thagamo to a 1-year contract extension at $775,000. Then we had a trade. We traded Carl Grundstrom to the San Jose Sharks for right defenseman Kyle Burrows. And Steve at work. Why did they trade our toughest guy? Well, because we had another trade and we acquired Tanner Jeannot for a 2024 fourth round pick and a 2025 second round pick from the Tampa Bay Lightning. And honestly, in my opinion, he's a better player than Carl Grundstrom is. We'll see if that comes true. Also, the Kings sent qualifying offers to the following. First of all, the obvious one, Quentin Byfield. I think it's maybe surprising, Arthur Kaliev, but we're thinking maybe there's a trade coming after. If we sign him, then we can trade him, or we can trade his rights to another team.
Yeah.
Jordan Spence also, and then Rain goalie Eric Portello. So we made qualifying offers to all four of those. All the other restricted free agents have been non-qualified. And that's Kings news.
Perfect. Ducks news. The Ducks rebrand is officially here. Not how I predicted it, how they're going to do one day, then one another. No, they just did all of it in one day, and it could not have been any better. I'm stoked on how everything came out. I really can't wait to see those jerseys on ice because I think that away jersey might be the best away jersey in the league. I love it. So, we'll do more of the rebrand talk later. But there was just one thing I wanted to say, which because we're both Angels fans. Yes, we have hockey teams that are rivals, but we love the Angels, and I think this quote is just a complete jab at Artie Moreno, and I love it. So that's why I wanted to say it. The quote is, "We are distinctly not LA. We don't want to be LA. We are not from LA. We're moving in a bold direction, and there's a reason for it. We want to represent people who are unrepresented. We believe Orange County is undeserved as a pro sports market." Tell me that's not a jab at Artie Moreno if it isn't one.
Definitely.
Because I know, like, when they were talking about the rebrand, everyone was like, crap, are they going to become the Los Angeles Ducks of Anaheim? Oh God, I would have been so mad. So mad. But no, they embrace Orange County. They embrace Anaheim. That's why you see that trademark Orange Country for Orange County. Like I said, love it. So the next bit of news, Isaac Lundestrom resigns for 1 year for $1.5 million. So we don't have to worry about his RFA, or I think he may have been up for arbitration. I can't remember. The Ducks issued qualifying offers to Jackson Lacombe, Nikita Nesterenko, and Pavel Regenda. So hopefully they accept those qualifying offers and we can see them for the next year or two. And the Ducks RFAs that did not get qualifying offers were Max Jones, Bo Grew, Urho Vakanainen, Gustav Lindstrom, and Brett Leeson. So, do you guys agree with what Verbeek did here by giving these qualifying offers to Lacombe, Nesterenko, and Regenda and not the others? I mean, just because we don't send them qualifying offers doesn't mean we still can't sign them. Because I still hope they keep Brett Leeson. At least Brett Leeson out of those ones that did not get an offer. So, well, that is it for Ducks news. So with league news, we're going to do something different. Since there was a lot of league news this last week with the draft and awards and players having to be re-signed before free agency, which starts on July 1st at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to do trades, players that re-signed, the buyouts, people that got hired, and then we'll go over awards, and then after that is just the remaining miscellaneous ones. So trades. You want to lead this one off?
Sure. Just grab it here. Big trade.
And tell me this was not a jab at the NHL, this trade. Because they announced this trade right before Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Yes. Linus Ullmark traded to the Ottawa Senators. And the Bruins get Korpisalo retained for 25%, a 2024 first-round pick, number 25, and forward Mark Kastelik. Anyways, obviously, Ullmark realized they were going to go with Swayman. They couldn't afford paying two goalies anymore to upgrade their team. And they got Korpisalo still making $5 million. What was Ullmark making?
I think is he making 5 or was it 4?
Maybe 4. I thought it was maybe it was a 5-year, $20 million. Maybe it was $4 million.
I could always look it up.
Yeah. Anyways,
but the one sad thing about this is I'm gonna miss seeing the goalie hugs between Swayman and Ullmark. I'm gonna miss those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, pause this podcast, if you're listening, go to YouTube and look up Bruins goalie hug. You will not regret it. And it's just great. You know, the chemistry, these two, even though they were competing for a job, they were like brothers. You know, if one of after every win, they would go up to each other and do like this little move, and then do this big old bear hug and hug each other. It was the best thing. But and I believe Ullmark might be signing an extension with Ottawa, but it hasn't been announced yet because he has 1 year remaining on that contract. So, next trade. Red Wings trade a 2024 second round pick, which ended up being number 53 overall, and defenseman Jake Wallman to the Sharks for future considerations. I wonder if that player is going to work out. This was just a salary dump for the Red Wings. I think they're gearing up for free agency or trades. Because I know actually I should have put this in my Ducks news. There's been heavy talks with the Red Wings in trying to acquire Gibson from the Ducks. But I think what might be why they're saying that the Ducks don't want to retain any salary, but I think that's the only way maybe to get him out. Maybe. Even if it's maybe just a little bit. I mean, honestly, if they have to retain like a little bit, that's fine. Because there's 3 years left on his contract. So we'll see. Maybe they're waiting till July 1st because that's when the new league season calendar year starts. So then, because right now we can't retain any salary because it's still technically last season and we still got Labushkin, Carrick, and Henrique on retention. And it doesn't reset till July 1st at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Tomorrow.
So, guys, tomorrow is going to be, or today, when you're listening to this, is going to be nuts. So, all right. Next trade.
Vancouver. I think this is a salary dump.
Yes, it was.
Trades forward Ilya Mikheyev with 15% retained, which is $712,500. Wow.
Yeah.
And forward Sam Lafferty, who is an unrestricted free agent, and a 2027 second round pick to Chicago. And Chicago sends a 2027 fourth round pick.
It's Mikheyev.
It's what?
The Ilya Mikheyev. That's the name. Mikheyev.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted you to say. I
hate those Russian names.
I honestly, I just wanted you to read that one just because I want to see if you can say the name.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yes, that was a straight salary dump on Vancouver. And we'll tell you why that was a salary dump when we do the re-signings. Spoiler alert. All right, next one. Flames trade forward Andrew Mangiapane to the Capitals for a 2025 second round pick. Flames are still whatchamacallit? I would say retooling more than rebuilding. Actually, maybe a little bit of both. It's like a little mixture of both.
Capitals are definitely they're building fast.
Yeah,
you'll see.
So, speaking of Capitals, I had a funny thought, and I think I already told you this. I found it hilarious. You know how I can only imagine when Dubois gets to Washington and meets Ovechkin as a teammate for the first time. I could just see Ovechkin going up to him and be like, "Hey, I'm Ovi. Here's how you succeed here. You win face-off. You get puck. You pass me puck where I'm in the face-off dot. I one time. I score. We win. We drink vodka." I can only imagine that's how Ovi does it.
I would, yeah. You think they're trying to get the Gretzky record?
Oh, that's. I mean,
I think that's a big part of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That trade was.
Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that trade was definitely to help out Ovechkin to break Gretzky. And then the next trade, Blue Jackets trade forward Alex Texier, and who end up signing a extension 2 years and 2.1 AAV to the Blues for a 2025 fourth round pick. I think that was just a hockey trade.
Yeah.
Next one is one I was shocked to see. You want to read that one?
Sure. Vegas trades Paul Cotter and a 2025 third to the New Jersey Devils and get back forward Alexander Holtz and guard Akira Schmidt.
Goalie.
I mean, guard. It's been a long day. Goalie Akira, no, I'm going back to basketball all of a sudden. How did I
Yeah.
do that? Akira Schmidt.
Man, I'm shocked. That's what took Alexander Holtz to go to Vegas. He was one of their top prospects. New Jersey. Yeah, so I'm shocked that's what it took to get him out. And the Vegas already came out and said Akira Schmidt is a RFA after this, and they already said they're not going to give him a qualifying offer or resign him. I think I can't
So
remember. I
he's
can't
a
remember which.
throw-in.
Yeah, I think it was just a throw-in. All right, next one: Blues trade Kevin Hayes and a 2025 second rounder to Pittsburgh for future considerations again. There's that future considerations player again. He's going everywhere.
Yeah,
Again,
great.
I think this was, I don't even know what this was, to be honest.
Salary dump.
But the Blues don't need a salary dump, do they?
Yeah, well, I don't think Hayes worked out with him.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
He was
that.
much better with Philly.
Much better.
Yeah, they
All
were
right.
trying to get some scoring, and I just don't think maybe it just wasn't a good fit. We've been hearing that a lot this offseason, a good fit. So
Yeah. All
and
right.
the next one, big trade,
Big trade.
lightning trade, Mikhail Sergachev
Yep.
to Utah for defenseman J.J. Moser, forward Connor Geeky. That's a funny name, Geeky.
He has a brother, too.
Yeah,
Morgan Geeky.
yeah.
Plays for Seattle, I believe. No. Boston. I think he plays for Boston now.
Was it? Isn't there another Geeky that was in the trade with Kachuk and everything?
No. That
I'm
was
thinking
Uyghur.
somebody else. Connor. I said Connor Geeky, a 2024 7th round and a 2025 second round pick.
This
So
was a shocker.
Utah's serious, as
And
you will see.
he still has 7 years left on his contract. Sergachev does.
Yeah.
So one, I think this was a way. I know Utah, they had no defenseman signed. So now they got probably a good a first line defenseman, and they got him long term. And now, but the only thing is they traded away some promising prospects. And then I think it was just a salary dump on the Lightning, which we could tell you why in a second, because in the next few trades you'll probably find out why they made this trade. Next trade, which also has to do with Utah. New Jersey trades defenseman John Marino and a 2024 fifth round pick, which ended up being number 153 overall, to Utah for a 2024 second, which ended up being number 49 overall, and a 2025 second round pick. So there's Utah getting another defenseman, because they have, trust me, nothing but draft picks to give away.
Wow.
They have like 30 draft picks in like 2 years.
Well, here was a shocker. The next one. The Vegas Golden Knights trades goalie
There you go.
Logan Thompson to the Capitals for a 2024 third round pick, which was number 83, and a 2025 third round pick. Until we play this next season, we won't know what those 2025 picks are, what number they would be.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't get those.
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
So,
and the only thing that sucks about this was Logan Thompson was literally in the middle of doing an autograph signing when he found out that he was getting traded to Washington. So Washington's that's what, the third or fourth move they've made already?
yeah.
So they're trying to build their team. All right, the next one are kind of two different trades. Dallas trades defenseman Chris Tanev, but more they're saying trading his signing rights to Toronto for Max Ellis and a 2026 seventh round pick. So the reason why they're trading his rights is that way they got like they can already start trying to re-sign him now, because you technically can't sign with a new team until July 1st at noon Pacific Standard Time. Otherwise it's called tampering. So that's why they made this trade, so that way Toronto really wants a defenseman, a right-handed shot defenseman, a defensive defenseman like Chris Tanev. So that's why they're, hey, we want him, but we want first dibs at him. We want to start talking to him now. So that's why they made this trade.
Yeah, so they're getting extra time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he can't go somewhere else. That's why it wasn't more, because Tanev would be obviously worth more than that.
Yeah.
And then the next trade.
The next trade is exactly the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, the Hurricanes trade the signing rights to forward Jake Gensel to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a 2025 third round pick. And same exact reason. They want to have the first right to sign him. They've both those trades let them know they want him. They want those guys.
This one had me shocked too. I was not expecting the Lightning to go after Gensel like this.
Yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird offseason.
Honestly, I mean, I kind of like it though.
Well, it's been action packed, and that's crazy how action packed it's been. And yeah. I mean, a lot of guys changing teams. I mean,
yeah, we're
gonna have a retool for the NHL.
Yes, you're not kidding. And honestly, and this is just the beginning. There still could be trades, and we're like I said, free agency starts July 1st at noon. So guys, be prepared. Like you're gonna see a lot of same faces and new places this year, probably, especially with the cap making that $4.5 million jump.
Yeah,
you're gonna see a lot of different faces and on different teams. All right. Now we're going to go to all the re-signings we've had so far. All right, first one. Dylan DeMello re-signs with the Jets for 4 years at 4.9 AAV. I think that was a good re-signing. He was a good defenseman for them. I think that was a good move. Next one. Casey Middlestat re-signs with the Avalanche at 3 years at 5.75 AAV.
Those are millions, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys, I mean, I'm sure you assumed it, but those are millions.
Yeah. All right. And then to why the Vancouver made that trade, that salary dump trade, as we already talked about, the next 3 trade or re-signings have to do with Vancouver.
Yeah. Dakota Joshua re-signs with Vancouver with for 4 years with a 3.25 million AAV. Tyler Myers also resigns with Vancouver and gets a 3-year, $3 million AAV deal.
3x3.
Should I just finish up Vancouver?
Yeah, go ahead.
Teddy Bluger resigns also with Vancouver, gets 2 years at 1.8 million AAV.
So that's why you saw the salary dump, which I think those players were more important than Mikheyev was.
Yeah, and this next one, that surprised me.
I'm shocked too.
This one, Cody's going to tell you about.
This one isn't official yet.
Well, it can't be till tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Or today if you're listening to this. UC
whatever day
Saros.
they're listening to it.
Well, I mean, because it's not going to come out till tomorrow, or Monday. So UC Saros has agreed, let's put it that way, to an extension with the Predators for 8 years at $7.74 million AAV. By the way, AAV means average annual
value.
what
Is it annual average value?
value? Thank you. I had it and I just gone.
Well, I know we get all these. Everything's you know, short
An,
letters
an
and
acronym. Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes they get confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a few of them in our day, but not like we do today.
Yeah. Definitely.
I still sometimes have to ask what it is. If I don't know what it is, I look it up on the internet. If I can't find it, I call you or Tim
And guys,
because
that is completely true.
because there's been a couple times it isn't one, and it was a misspelling, and I messed up.
Yeah. So you want to hear some kind of a little Easter egg I noticed about that deal? And the AAV, it's 7.74. What's UC Saros' number?
74,
74. That's
maybe,
why,
maybe
yeah.
he has a thing for that.
Well, I mean,
He'll
that's what Jesper Bratt did last year. When he resigned, his number is 63, so he signed for 63 million times however many whatever years he did.
6.3 million. You mean?
No, he did. It was 63 million total for the whole contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Crosby did the 8.7 million, 87.
He's gonna be. They're gonna want to sign him this offseason.
Yeah, because he's due for
You don't have news about that yet.
not yet.
I mean, you're talking Hall of Famer right there.
Yeah.
What hell of a player.
Yeah. Calvert Pickard re-signs with Edmonton for 2 years at $1 million per year. But back to the Saros thing. What are they going to do with Askarov now? Because he looked really good in AHL. They're probably going to give him maybe one more year down there, or maybe he's going to be the backup. But I mean, they could probably get a good package for. I know they were trying to trade him at the draft. They were trying to involve him. This is what I've heard. They tried to involve Askarov to move up to like a top 5 pick this year. I think they were going to try and get Demidov, I believe, or someone like that. But last 2 re-signings that we've had so far is Max Domi re-signs with Toronto for 4 years at 3.75 million AAV, and also Timothy Liljegren also re-signs with Toronto at 2 years at 3 million per year. So that's it for re-signings. Now we're going to go to the buyouts. Wow. I'm surprised there was this many buyouts.
Okay, I'll start that off. Ryan Suter gets bought out by Dallas.
That was not a shock.
First year, $783,334. Second is $1.4 million. So I guess it only goes for 2.
Yeah, because he only had 1 year left. So when you get bought out, they double the years and you get 2/3 of whatever's left of the contract.
Unless they're under 25, it's 1/3.
If they're yeah, exactly. That's why that whole Dubois being bought out by the Kings, but that would have been a 14-year buyout.
Yeah. Good choice to trade him instead.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he has a better year. I think possibly he just didn't have the right spot with the Kings to be able to showcase his talents, and I think that's why they traded him. I mean, Rob Blake said that anyway, so just reiterate that.
Yeah. Cam Atkinson gets bought out by the Flyers with 1 year remaining. The first year of the buyout is 2.3 million cap hit, and the second year is 1.7 million of a cap hit.
Wow.
This next one was also the first 3 were not, actually the first 4 were not a shock to me getting bought out.
True.
You want to do the next one?
Yeah, I'll do it. Jeff Skinner gets bought out by Buffalo. He had 3 years remaining, and 9 million AAV.
Yeah, he had 3 years remaining, and he was supposed to get, and he had $9 million per year for those last 3 years.
So the next year will be 1.4 million. 25-26 will be 4.4 million. 26-27 is 6.4 million. And the last 3 is 2.4 million. That's a big hit.
Yeah, but they're trying to build. But they're thinking with the cap going to start going up more and more, that the buyout's going to not hurt them as much later on.
Well, yeah, because he kind of just fell off the map. I
Yeah, he
mean,
really did.
he was one of those sniper guys everybody would love to have on their team. And then what have you heard really about him the last couple years? He's not been that.
He has struggled.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And then Jack, I don't know why I put Jake on there. Jack
Typo.
Campbell, huh?
Typo.
Typo, yeah. Jack Campbell, aka who they call Soup, which I found hilarious,
Yes.
gets bought out by Edmonton, which was not a shocker. In this first year, the one that's coming up, he has a cap hit of 1.1 million. And then in 25-26, he has a cap hit of 2.3 million. In 26-27, a 2.6 million cap hit. And then the last 3 years, he had gets a 1.5 million cap hit. So when we tell you the cap hit is, that's how much the teams are paying for his contract, and that's charged to their salary cap. So now they have whoever's playing plus these players who get bought out is also on there. So that kind of, like with Jeff Skinner, he has that 1 year worth 6.4 million. Think about how much you could probably get a good defenseman or a good, decent forward on your team for
Yeah, who knows?
6.4 million, or a decent goalie
Yeah.
for 6.4 million. And now that's
That's
just what we
Gibson, right? He's at about 6.4 million.
Gibson's, I believe, at 6.4. So
Yeah.
think about, they're paying for pretty much, let's just say, a Gibson year salary, and just to have him not on your team, to not play, just so they can get more cap space per year, I guess.
So Soupy, thank you for handicapping the Oilers. We love you, brother.
Yep. So, all right. Next two is, I forgot to put the things, but I got them right here. Adam Boquist gets bought out by the Blue Jackets. He had 1 year left at 2.6 million. So he has a 66,000, just a $66,000 cap relief. So they're only saving $66,000. I don't know why they put it this way on the online. And then the second year, he's at 533,000 cap hit.
So how much was this buyout?
He was supposed to get, he had 1 year left at 2.6
million, and they're only going to pay like not even $1 million for 2 years.
It's
I don't think
it's 2/3 of it. Actually, I don't even know if he's even 25. Is he 25? I don't remember. But next one, I'm actually kind of shocked about this one. Nate Schmidt gets bought out by the Winnipeg Jets. In the first year, he had 1 year at 1.95 million left. And the next season, the first season, he has a $2.7 million cap hit. And then the next season, he has a $1.6 million cap hit. All right. So that is it for buyouts.
Okay, I'll take this next one.
Go for it.
Columbus Blue Jackets hire Todd McClellan as their next head coach. I think that's a great signing.
I agree.
But he's a very good coach. I'm still struggling with why it happened to him. And what I really honestly think it was a player problem, not a coach problem. The players just didn't play for him. Kings had to do something, right?
Yeah, it's easier to fire the coach than all the players.
Yeah, you can't trade all the players, so you fire the coach. And I think Todd got kind of screwed on that. Luckily Hiller came in and at least got him to the playoffs, and you're going to see not a total, but a pretty big Kings retool this season. It's going to be interesting to see what all happens with it. We've heard some rumors. We're not going to share them until we can confirm that they're true. And probably maybe on the next podcast, we might have more information. Obviously, with the free agency and everything going on, a lot more action is going to happen in the next week or two.
And just the one day alone.
Yeah, maybe just tomorrow. Tomorrow could be crazy.
Oh, yeah. Today, when you guys are listening to this.
Now we're going to go on to awards.
Did we write down our predictions or no?
I don't remember.
But honestly, I'm looking at it and I think we nailed all the awards.
Well, I'm not going to say McKinnon was like blew everybody else away, but because I think he was behind both of them in scoring, was he not?
He was second in scoring.
So he was ahead of McDavid.
He was ahead of McDavid, yeah,
but not ahead of Kucherov.
No, Kucherov won.
Yeah, he led with 144 points. I remember that.
Yeah, he won the Art Ross.
So Nathan McKinnon wins the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. I mean, well deserved.
The Ted Lindsay is the award where I believe the Players Association. So I think the players, I think it's more the players pick who they think was the best player this year.
Well, believe me, he's there. He's incredible.
I love Jeff Merrick's way of describing his game. He's a rhinoceros on skates. I love it.
He's a rhinoceros on skates who can skate faster than just about anybody else. He's fast.
Yeah.
I mean, him and McDavid, incredibly fast.
And they're skilled with the puck going that fast.
Yeah. Yes. Incredible.
Yep.
I know we nailed the next award.
Well, I think you and I agreed on most of the awards. So the next one was Connor Hellenbuck wins the Vezina. So best goalie, which that was a no-brainer, I believe.
Yes. Thank God the failure in the playoffs didn't cost him.
Yeah, so this was just the season, obviously.
Regular season.
Just the regular season.
But sometimes the playoffs can...
It shouldn't, but yes.
Yeah.
So you want to do the next one?
Yes. Quinn Hughes, one of the three Hughes brothers, the oldest of the three Hughes brothers, wins the Norris. And you were the first one to say something that you were positive about him winning that trophy.
Yeah.
And
he was just the Ben's. I think he had the most points as a defenseman, but he also had probably some of the best defensive numbers too.
Yeah, he went big.
Yeah.
I mean, he went right up in Makar status.
Yeah.
This season.
I agree.
Think that's why his partner got a nice big pay raise, because he helped Hughes win that trophy, I think.
Yeah.
That's where you got to think of teammates sometimes.
Oh yeah, easily. Did you have on your bingo card that Quinn Hughes was going to be the first Hughes to win one of the major awards?
On my bingo card?
It was a joke.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me, but sometimes I felt like he was good, but he wasn't exceptional. And I thought Jack might get it before him.
I thought Jack was going to win something before Quinn.
Yeah.
Luke is too young.
Yeah, Luke might be the best one of the bunch,
He could be,
but
yeah,
he's young yet.
and he's on a very talented team too.
He
So
gets to play with his big brother.
yeah, well, I wouldn't say big brother. I would say older brother. Luke
Yeah,
is the
that's true.
biggest out of the three.
Yeah. Yes.
He towers over them.
Yes.
Speaking of young players, we're gonna go on to the player that won the Calder. Gee, I wonder who. It's weird. I didn't know a whole team, the Chicago Bedards, can win the Calder. So Connor Bedard wins the Calder.
you're
Honestly,
you're
not shocked.
welcome for that moniker on Chicago.
Yeah.
Because you remember I'm the one that came up
Yes,
with it.
no, you were definitely the one that came up with it. I thought it was hilarious. But honestly, I probably would have. I want to see the voting on this. I want to know how close it was. I'm kind of curious because I liked Brock Faber. If I had to put money on it, I was going to put Bedard. But who I wanted it to win was Faber. That was just
Well,
my honest opinion.
well, the funny thing is, you look everything that Brock Faber did. It was like number one in minutes. All the things he did for
Power play, penalty
for the
kill,
Minnesota Wild,
playing
very deserving of a win. And you know what? It's funny. Minnesota didn't draft him. You want to? I'm sure you Kings fans know he was the big cog that went over in the Kevin Fiala trade. Now, am I saying it was a bad trade? I'm saying no. I think both teams won because
yeah.
Kevin Fiala's. I mean, the second half of last season. Oh my God! I was going. What happened? What happened to all the stupid penalties in the offensive zone? They were gone. So, anyways, it's nice, that two teams could trade, and I think they both won, and that's nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no one dominated this trade at all.
Oh no, not even close. And then we still have more years to come to see, will one team edge out the other, and
Possibly.
and I think it could be either team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Depends on how much Faber grows, and Fiala he's a very gifted offensive player. And
When he's
now
not in the penalty box?
What?
When he's not in the penalty box?
Yeah, but he didn't do it in the second half, not
Oh.
nearly as much.
That's good.
And then he was winning puck battle. He wins the puck battles. He's elusive.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he is in his prime.
I can't wait. He was playing
he's coming
in
into
his
those
rookie
prime
year, he was
years.
playing 30 minutes a night. In his rookie year, he was playing 30 minutes a night. That's unheard of.
That's a little too much.
I agree, but this kid straight out of college was doing that. And that's crazy. And he didn't look tired doing it. But all right. First team, all NHL. At left wing, we had Artemi Panarin. At center, we had Nathan MacKinnon. At right wing, Nikita Kucherov. And for the defensemen, we had Quinn Hughes and Roman Josi. And at guard, no, I'm just kidding. At goalie, Connor Hellenbuck. You want to do second team?
For 3. Second team, Philip Forsberg, Connor McDavid, Pasternak, with Fox and Makar on the D, and Demko as the goalie. I go, you think about that. If those two teams played, what kind of game would that be?
Did you have McKinnon on your team, or I had McKinnon on my team.
I had Panarin, I had Kucherov. I think you had McKinnon, Hughes, Josi, and Hellebuck.
It's funny because you had Panarin, Kucherov, Hughes, right?
Did I have Hughes or you?
I thought you did.
Okay, let me look. Oh, I did have Hughes.
And I had Josi, and I had Hellenbuck. So you had, I think we both had half, right?
I had
Panarin,
Hughes,
Kucherov, and
Fox.
no, I meant just off the first team.
I had Panarin and Hughes
And Kucherov, right?
and Kucherov.
So you had 3 and I had 3. On the second team, I had Forsberg, you had McDavid, I had Pasternak,
I had Fox.
you had Fox, I had Makar, and neither of us had Demko for our fantasy draft.
Yeah, and guys, just a teaser to listen to future episodes. There's not enough time to talk about that. The simulation was done.
It was
Cody
done.
has all that information. I have a little bit of it. And it was incredible. But you know what? It's funny. Every time we do a simulation, it's been incredible.
Yeah.
Obviously, I taught you well to know about hockey, son, because you definitely always compete with me.
Yeah.
At the highest level,
I try.
And it's a funny thing that an all-league basketball player in high school who never ice skated is pretty darn knowledgeable about hockey. I just can't say some of the names. I know about hockey. So, anyways,
You definitely cannot pronounce names.
I'm terrible. I get that from my dad.
All right. I want to save the top one for last.
Okay, did you tell about the all-rookie team?
Oh, the all-rookie team.
Why don't you do that first?
All right. So for forwards, they had Bedard, Cooley, Rossi for forwards. And for defense, they had Faber and Luke Hughes. And goalie from the Carolina Hurricanes, Kuchekov. I was thinking, I was like, maybe, I don't know why Dostal wasn't on there. But then I looked at Kuchekov's stats. I'm like, yeah, he should have been there. I'm not gonna deny he had a better year.
Yeah, well, played on a better team.
Oh yeah, probably played on one of the best defensive teams in the NHL, but still, he still got to make the saves.
You want to leave the first?
Yeah,
you want to leave that to last.
Yeah, because I want to make fun of it.
So you want me to start with the second one?
Yep, go for it.
You're gonna do that one when you want to do it.
Yeah,
you have a passion for that.
Yes, it's funny to me now.
For the Hockey Hall of Fame, Pavel Datsyuk, Jeremy Roenick, Shea Weber, and women's player Natalie Darwitz, Chrissy Wendell Pohl, and builders Colin Campbell and David
Poyle. He was the Nashville
Yeah,
GM.
I know who he is. I was trying to remember how to pronounce his last name. Thank you for helping me with that.
Yeah. So Datsyuk finally gets in. Roenick finally gets in.
Yeah.
Shea Weber gets in on the first try.
Well, Shea Weber was when they were probably thinking about the Mighty Duck movie.
Fulton Reed?
Yeah. They were thinking about his shot. Because he had a blistering shot.
He did. I think it's funny how Shea Weber's still technically under contract.
Yeah, him and Carey Price, unfortunately, just couldn't continue their careers.
Yeah, it's sad to see players end that early like that. But you want to hear a funny thing?
What?
Utah's only been a team for not even really a team. They haven't even played their first game, and they got 2 Hall of Famers. Because Roenick was a Coyote.
Yeah.
And Weber, his last team was with the Coyotes.
Oh, was it?
I believe he got his contract got traded there.
Oh.
So okay. That's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
All right. I'll do this next one because I got it right here. NHL rule changes. All right. Rule 38.2. Situations subject to coaches' challenges. A coach's challenge will now be permitted to take down a penalty for puck out of play. This only will apply to delay of game penalties when the puck is determined to have deflected off a player, stick, glass, or boards, and not on a judgment call on how the puck left the defensive zone. Examples of batted pucks or if the puck was shot from the defensive zone. In the event of a failed challenge, another 2-minute minor penalty will be assessed, in addition to the existing delay of game penalty.
Ooh, go
So if you, so
men down.
yeah, so you'd be, if it's a penalty to throw the puck out of play in your defensive zone. So if it goes straight out of play, it's a penalty. If it hits like another player or a deflected or goes off the glass, then it's not a penalty. So if the team fails, and it's only for, I believe, the team getting the penalty on that. I don't think a team can have a replay saying, "Oh, that went out of play." Like that shouldn't have been. I don't think the offensive team can ask for a penalty. So it's just to prevent less of those. And then Rule 63.8, line change following dislodged net. There will be an adjustment to Rule 63.8 so that the defensive team cannot make a line change in the event if its goaltender accidentally dislodges the net. The old language applied just to skater. So now if the goalie does it, the team can't change.
Well, what did you see happening more?
More dislodged nets.
Yeah, with goalies, because it wasn't going to cost them.
Yeah.
So now the players got to stay on the ice. I mean, we've all seen where they've been out there for 3 minutes and the other team has made changes twice because they just couldn't make changes because they're in the zone the whole time. They're going to get penalized for doing that. Goalies were sometimes doing that to give them a chance to make a change.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be taken away.
I'm fine with that rule change too. Next one, 46.4, face-off procedure for centers. Following an icing, the offensive center also will now receive one warning, same as the defensive player, for a face-off violation.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that one.
And this is going to be probably the big one that we might see a couple times this year, I'm guessing, is Rule 75.3. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Players sitting on boards. The referee will now provide the offending team, coach, and players with one warning regarding players sitting on the boards, and will also advise the other team. After one warning in a game, the team precipitating the warning will be issued a bench minor penalty for future violations. It's just to prevent players like sitting on the boards and having their skate up on there and, say someone gets hit there and then boom, they're cut by a blade, or like kind of like what happened to
or a referee.
Or a referee. Because sometimes
they're skating and watching the play and all of a sudden the guy's sitting on the boards and they run into him.
Well, sometimes
it's to protect someone who may not see it.
If sometimes you'll see sometimes the referees hop on the boards. They'll sit on the boards to get out of the way of the players. So that's what they're saying too. It's because if the player's sitting on there and the referee's trying to do it, then you're hindering the referee from doing his job in a way. So, you want to read the next one?
I'll take it. Ken Holland will not be returning to the Edmonton Oilers as GM next season. He is gone.
Yeah. He's going to find a job somewhere else, though.
Yeah.
If he wants it. He turned the Edmonton team around just what he did the last 2 years.
Yeah, incredibly.
Yeah.
They went to the Stanley Cup this year. all the way, 7 games.
Mm-hmm. All right.
They were tough.
Kyle Opozo gets a $500,000 bonus. Oh, this might be a little spoiler for winning the Stanley Cup. But guess who gets to pay the bonus? His former team, the Buffalo Sabres.
I don't think it's a spoiler, Cody. I think everybody probably already knows what
No, I
happened.
know. It happened it happened a week ago.
I mean, we are almost a week away from
No,
it
I
happening.
know. I know. But I just thought we haven't talked about it yet, but I think people already know. So you want to do the next one?
Yeah. This is one of those ones I think after tomorrow, we might actually,
Yes. This might be one of the ones
this might
we'll
be
see.
more official, but the Panthers are looking to sign Carter Verhaeghe to a long-term extension. The deal is looking to be 6 years, 8 to 8.5 million per year. And I want to say, I listened to a lot of it because I was working of the Stanley Cup, and the name I heard more than anybody else's, I want to swear, Carter Verhaeghe. I mean, it was. I go, who is this guy? I mean, we got Kachuk out there, we got McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. I mean, all these great players, but Verhaeghe was everywhere.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I wonder if he was like second or third in the Conn Smythe.
People, I want to say he was, I think, closer to third, like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because I'm thinking you had
not
McDavid,
necessarily.
you had Barkov, you had Bobrovsky. I think those were like the top three.
Yeah, but whose name did you hear more of?
Bobrovsky and
No,
McDavid.
you
But
heard
no,
Verhaeghe. He
for
was
skater wise,
in the corner.
yeah.
Verhaeghe comes up with a ball. It's always something for Verhaeghe. It
No,
wasn't always a goal.
he's a great player too.
Yeah,
I want to say he's not that far from having the most overtime winning goals in just playoffs.
yeah, he's clutch.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm impressed with Carter Verhaeghe.
yeah. So
And he's not a name that you'd hear it and you knew he was out there, but you weren't going, this guy's a great player. Well, they're going to pay him $8.5 million.
8 to 8.5
Well,
around that time.
$8 million. I mean, that's a lot of money in hockey terms.
A lot of money.
It's something. So,
All right,
I'd love to have him on my team. He's one of those guys you want on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may not always be on the all-star team or the superstars getting all the awards, but it's one of those guys helps you win games. You need guys like him.
I like the way he plays.
I do too.
Last bit of league news, finally. Nick, this is I just found this just before we started recording. Nick Robertson, the little brother of Dallas Stars forward Jason Robertson, has no plans of re-signing with Toronto and has requested a trade. Verbeek, do your thing. Bring him back to Cali.
Blake, do your thing.
You have no cap room.
How much does he make?
I don't know. I think he's an RFA, so you'd have to re-sign him.
Yeah.
What trade pieces do you have?
Let a lot of the other guys go, and we got
what trade pieces do you have?
Arthur Kaliev.
I said trade. Yeah, I guess.
You could trade him. You got a pick. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
There might be better options for us. I don't know. But something to think about. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Nick Robertson saga. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go play with his little brother? Or is he going to go play with the funniest guy at the draft?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. We'll talk about that more, not this week.
Yeah. So now we'll go on to the Stanley Cup recap. as you guys know, since this happened almost a week ago, the Florida Panthers have won their first ever Stanley Cup in exactly their 30 years of existence, winning Game 7. I believe it was 2-1.
2-1.
It was a great game.
It
Oh
was.
man, I had to watch at least the last part of it. It was
But
great.
you had to figure Paul Maurice is going to find a way to break the jinx for 3 games that the Oilers had over them.
I loved his quote. Did you hear his quote?
Not sure.
His quote was, "You had to lose 3 games to learn how to win 4."
Ooh.
I was like, oh, he's known
Is
for
that going to be a
his.
classic or what?
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
So I mean, I guess that's any good. He's always good for his quotes. He's always been known for that. So, congrats to the Florida Panthers on winning their first Stanley Cup playoff. That's their in the last 5 years, that was the third Florida team or third championship to win in the last 5 years. Right? You had Tampa, Colorado, Vegas, Florida.
As long as it wasn't Vegas or Edmonton, I'm good.
Oh, and did you hear Kachuk's quote?
I didn't.
He said, because he used to play for Calgary. He said to all the Calgary fans back home, he's like, "You knew I couldn't let Edmonton win this one." I was like, man, just
Ouch.
yeah.
Competitive West, man. Competitive West.
Yep. All right.
Well, Conn Smythe winner went to the losers though.
For the first time since Jean-Sebastien Giguère of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. He was the last one.
2003.
3.
I was going to say
2003.
2, but 2003.
Yep.
Yeah. And all you Gretzky fans, his record still stands for the most points ever in a Stanley Cup Finals.
For now.
Or Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people go, well, if he were broke it, he played a lot more games. And that would have been true, but they go, who cares? Well,
it's still impressive no matter
Gretzky
what.
would have played those games, he'd have added 2 points a game onto it. That's pretty much what he did in the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
At least 2 points a game. Average.
I think he did that in 18 games. They said.
Who?
Gretzky, with the 47 points in the postseason, he did that in 18 games.
Yeah, over 2 points a game.
Yeah,
which is incredible.
Well over. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not shocked about the Conn Smythe. I think you and I both predicted it was going to be McDavid no matter what.
Yeah, well, it was Bobrovsky until 3 losses in a row.
So,
and Barkov was right there.
So I didn't know that they do this for when they vote. So on any game clinching Stanley Cup game, whoever gets to vote on the Conn Smythe, they put in their 3 players. But I guess you can put in what they call a qualifier on certain players. So say Barkov scores a game-winning goal for Florida, he's my favorite. So you could put like 1 McDavid, 2 Barkov, 3 Bobrovsky, but you can have qualifiers like, so if Barkov scores the game-winning goal, he's number 1. Or if Bobrovsky gets a shutout, he's my Conn Smythe. Like, there's qualifiers you could put for the play, and I didn't know they can do that.
Oh, I didn't either.
I know. I was like, oh, that's. I learned. I think they had that on 32 Thoughts. I was like, oh, I'm like,
learn something new every day.
Yeah. So, guys, listen to 32 Thoughts. It's a great podcast.
It is.
And I can't get those darn songs out of my head. I'm literally at work singing "Try the Ribs."
Yeah. Try the ribs.
So, all right. Flock party.
One reason we're postponing doing draft results and so forth is because one is we haven't had time to gather it all.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just finished yesterday.
As you know, I know Cody went live for a little while on the draft. I was at the Styx, Foreigner, and John Waite concert at Honda Center Friday. Didn't get to bed till 1:30 Saturday morning. Busy all day yesterday, and then we went to the flock party today. So we haven't really had a good enough time, and we didn't want to do a crappy job on it. So we're going to put that off next week or the following week. Depends.
So, I say next week we can do our draft recap because we want to do a good detailed thing for the draft. We don't want to just oh yeah, they picked this guy and not really tell you much about him. So we kind of want to give you more of a rundown on each player, and then next week will probably be more Ducks Kings heavy than league news, and then maybe the next week we could do a full on like not draft, like free agent breakdown, or maybe we can do an extra podcast like we did for the trade deadline for the free agency.
And until we give you the results from the fantasy draft Stanley Cup between me and Cody, you're going to get a drum roll until we do it. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen. There's been so much news. We just thought that was something we could push off a little while.
Yeah.
But
we will tell you, just we want to, these things are more important right now.
Yeah. That was more like fun.
Yeah.
And competition between father and son.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's a brawl. I mean, nothing comes easy. We're both highly competitive people.
Yeah.
So don't like to lose.
I don't know if you guys watched the show Shoresy. I know you don't. I love that show. And there's something that, and I wish I would have known this when I was playing sports, because I feel like me. If you're going to pick a player on your team, would you rather have someone that wants to win or hates to lose?
Hate to lose.
Hate to lose. And that was me. I hated losing. Because I could tell you all my friends the next day at school, they would know right away if we won the game the day before. If we won, I was in a great mood. If we lost, I knew I was pissed off. Like I said, I hate losing. I'm very competitive.
Yeah. Sorry you get that from me.
Yeah. So, all right. Flock party. So we went to the flock party today.
Awesome. It was
great. Shout out to the late arrivals. We met them.
Even though I'm more of a Kings fan than a Ducks fan, I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I got to say, Ducks management, ownership, please buy the Angels. We need some. Stan. We need a better effing owner. What was this? Holberg? Stan Holberg?
Solberg. Stan Solberg.
Solberg. Oh my God. He was funny.
Let's just say he was not afraid to start cussing in front of everyone.
Yeah, and Kent French.
Kent French. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Especially when he told Cutter, he's like, "Oh, just let Stan say it for you."
Yeah, because
he said, "I don't want to f it up."
No, it's what somebody said to him.
Oh, don't f it up.
Yeah, was it Gudis?
Stromer.
Ryan Strom told him, "Don't. Hey, you're playing. Don't f it up."
It was that. So let's just say
there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, Solberg actually said it.
Yeah.
Everybody else insinuated it, and Seneca mouthed it without the words coming out at the draft.
Guys,
And I've
oh
already
my,
got a nickname for him already. Seneca is Baby Yoda. Everybody loved Baby Yoda. I mean, he did it on
national TV.
national TV. He was, I mean, it is a little bit about the draft, but it was part of today too. So,
Oh God,
I mean, he wasn't expecting to get picked third. I guess he had one conversation with Pat Verbeek, and he was shocked that he got picked.
yeah.
Basically, you could read his lips. Oh my God,
What the
what
f?
WTF?
Yeah. If you
And
guys,
hugging
please.
somebody when just before he said that, and you know, I got to say, Verbeek was on the stage today, and you're hearing this from not a, I'm not a, I'm a Kings fan number one, but um, Verbeek was just praised this kid. Everything he was looking for, that kid had, and that's why they picked him. You know, and he looks like he's 14,
They all
big
do.
14-year-old. He's like 6'3", but I mean, I could just see Anaheim loving this kid.
I already love them.
And the number 23 pick, the one with the foul mouth Norwegian. I gotta say, I walked away loving both of those guys. I mean, they're incredible kids, you know. And poor Nico, um,
Myadovic.
he just he wasn't as dynamic a personality, but hopefully he'll, you know, for all you Duck fans, he'll become a player that you're going to go, he don't need to say anything. Let's play hockey.
He's
Because
one of those silent killers.
everybody else was funny. They were funny. Cutter Gordier was funny. You know, I can't wait to see him play more than one game. Because
God,
one thing I
yes.
am is a hockey fan first, and then I'm a Kings fan. Ducks would be right after that. I want the Ducks to beat everybody except for the Kings, guys. So it's not like I want Edmonton to beat them. I went to a game and watched Connor McDavid destroy the Ducks this season.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, Cody couldn't get off that night.
Yeah.
You were working, and me and his little brother Tim and my wife went to the game, and we got to watch. I mean, McDavid, classic McDavid, dominate.
Just fly.
I mean, incredible. Watching, if you can get up close to one of these games, it'll give you a whole new perspective, and you'll become a bigger appreciator of hockey. So,
But
I'll let you talk about I've talked enough about the flock party.
so, like I said, if you guys haven't watched, I'll give you one spoiler for the next week. The Ducks picked Beckett Seneca with the 3rd overall pick. All you got to do is probably all you have to do on Google is look up Beckett Seneca and go to videos, and you're going to see his face when he gets drafted. And it's the funniest thing. And they had it on replay about 10-15 times during the flock party. And he even made the face when Kent French asked him a question. It was hilarious. So, and honestly, to all the people that were really mad about him being picked, because he wasn't supposed to go to like 8th or 9th or something. But like I said, we picked him at Tabish at 3, and he wasn't supposed to go till 9 or 10. And look how that one turned out. So all the people that are hating on the pick, don't hate it till you see him on the ice. There's probably a reason why Verbeek picked him. So, and I don't like that people were already talking bad about him or like that. So when they started talking to him, I started doing the Beckett. I started doing the chant, and we got it going for pretty good. It got loud.
It did.
So, you know, like I said, I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to see Stan Solberg. We'll give you more of a rundown. Verbeek pretty much called Solberg taller, meaner, younger Radko Gudas.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Look out, NHL! Here he comes.
Oh God, I cannot. If he's even like anything close to what Radko is, I'm gonna be happy. And I guess they got into it at the World Championship, apparently.
Yeah, that's where a more colorful metaphor came out of
Yeah,
his mouth, as
he
Mr. Spock would say.
from what they said is Stan told Gudis "F you." So I'm
That
like, if you
isn't.
got the kids got balls to say that to someone's nickname called the Butcher, got balls, Stan, and I like it. So
Well, Gudis looks like he should be a bouncer in a bar.
it's funny because he's not that big, but man, I do not want to
Oh
go toe
no,
to
I'm
toe with
talking
him.
about the look.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, the look. Yeah, I see that. He dresses pretty good. Not gonna lie, too. So I got his autograph. I'm happy about that. But the flock party, they showed the new jerseys, the new look. God, I love everything. And I think we have the best away jerseys in the league now.
I actually like the away jerseys better.
I kind of do too. A lot of people
Well,
are saying like,
it was a little too much orange in the home jersey. I don't mind the orange. I wish it was a little bit less. Have a contrast on the bottom, some
yeah,
kind of contrast. That's all I'm gonna say. Other than that, it is fantastic looking. They did a fabulous job with everything else, and the detail. They went through the details. It was incredible. What
yeah,
how much goes? It took 2 years.
4 years, 4 years,
It started. He said it started 2 years ago.
4 years ago.
That's what the president said.
No,
Two.
4. He said it on the podcast too. It was started in 2020, 2021.
Not
Four
what he
years
said.
ago.
That's not what he said on the stage.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure he said 4. But
Did you
anyways,
record it?
it's on the Duck stream
No, go
and
back.
it's recorded there.
Well, I'm talking about what he said today,
I
not
think
what
I'm
you.
pretty sure I think they said 2 years to um finish the logo, but they started doing everything 4 years ago.
Takes forever and lots of money.
Yeah.
Oh, and one of
Yeah,
the
but
other
they're going to make
exciting,
tons of money doing this though.
one of the other very exciting things is, because chances are, if we go to a hockey game, we'll probably be going to the pond.
Mhm.
Hopefully
Just
it'll be a
closer.
Kings Ducks game, and we can be, you and I can be civil at a Kings Ducks game, you
Yeah.
know, and we're honest about whether the referees cheated anybody or not. And if we disagree on that, sometimes we will disagree, and sometimes Cody will go, because he thinks that was a bad call, and I go, wait a second, what do you think about this? And he sees it in a little different light, and he's done the same thing to me. So I'm not just saying I do that to him. And so I'm kind of pissed. He goes, hey, uh, what did Dowdy do? He did the same thing, and they didn't even call anything.
That happened a lot this year with the
Um,
Ducks, though.
well, I'm not talking about what happened last season.
No, I know. I'm just saying where the Ducks did something, they get called for it, and then the other team does it the exact same thing to the Ducks, and there's no call. So, like I said, I just want consistency.
But
But
some of the exciting things is that there's going to be more fun interaction at games. We're
and
not talking about exactly all on the ice. I mean, I think it's going to be uh, video, lights.
yeah, the president said that.
Yeah, they
The
spent
Ducks president, sorry.
they spent millions of dollars to want to make your experience at the pond even better. Of course, he said Honda Center, but we say pond,
It's the pond. But
or as you
guys,
say, Honda
this is
Center,
the ponda.
the Ponda Center.
I can't say that's mine. I got that. That's from the Locked On Ducks host, JD Hernandez. I can't take that as mine.
Yeah, good old JD.
Yeah.
He's fun to listen to too.
Yeah. So, like I said, the flock party was great. Like I said, I finally got to meet the late arrivals guys. Shout out to them.
Yeah, it was neat because they really stepped up when we first started.
Yeah, they really helped us out.
They did.
So it was.
And what's weird is we went over. Cody saw him, and we went over and introduced ourselves to him. And when we're leaving, they're walking one way, we're walking the other. We saw him again.
Yeah.
So
So
somehow that was meant to happen.
yeah. So it was nice seeing them.
Wouldn't it be fun to do a mutual broadcast together?
That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Maybe on a
Yeah,
Ducks.
I don't
Maybe
know.
on a Ducks Kings game, we can all team up on you.
Oh yeah, 3 against 1. It'll take
Four,
you.
it would be
Take all
four.
3 of you.
It would be 4 or 5 against 1. Actually, there's there's 4 of them on the late arrivals.
Really?
Yeah, there's Connor, Jake, Chris, and Lou,
And I
and
got
me.
Gary and Gary and Gary and Gary and Gary.
But
Challenge accepted.
so if you guys were at the flock party, tell us what your favorite part was. Because honestly, I think my favorite part was the prospects talking, like the draft picks and everything talking. I feel like that was great.
Yeah, Beckett. I tell you, I mean, I was impressed with that kid. Not I haven't seen him play hockey yet,
Yeah,
but you can just tell he's got this something about him. I mean,
and
one
Stan too.
I love the name. It just
Beckett
kind of
Seneca.
flows.
Yeah,
Beckett Seneca.
I know. I'm
Now for
super
your
stoked.
now from your Anaheim Ducks, Beckett Seneca. Woo!
So
Baby
yeah,
Yoda.
I'm just happy I got my new merch. Of course, I didn't want to wait in line to get everything, so I ordered online. And then my wife's like, "Oh, I want a shirt." So then we end up waiting in line to get a shirt. But I
Yeah,
already ordered my stuff.
you're
So
welcome. We Mom got in line for you.
I know
You
Mom saved the day. So
So no calling Vegas any names today.
I'll let it slide. So all right. Any other things about the flock party that you enjoyed?
Wild Wing was funny. He
He's
was
always
very
funny.
engaging.
He's always been that way.
Yeah, but you don't get to see it because it's such a big arena. Because it was a smaller part of the arena was used, and
Yeah.
he was just like walking through and stepping over people. I was just watching him going, he's having a blast. Of course, he had to be hot in that
Oh
suit.
God. I can't imagine being in that. I think it'd be fun to do it, but I would be dying after about a minute.
Yeah, I want to know if Beckett actually threw a perfect strike on the
Oh,
first pitch at the Angel game.
they put it on the Instagram stories for the Ducks.
Did he actually throw a perfect strike?
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention, but I can double check. Just go on the Ducks stories and you'll see on Instagram.
Okay.
I think Stan threw a better one, but I can't remember which one was on which side. Yeah, because they had Carson Fulmer and Mickey Moniak catching.
2 non-catchers.
Yeah, well they always have a non-catcher do it usually.
Not always.
Most of the time, it's usually like one of the team's best players or something like that.
So is that our 2 best players on the Angels?
We don't have 2 best players on the Angels.
Okay. Rest my case.
Oh, and before we forget, I almost talked about the one news I kind of wanted to make fun of the most, which we called before this ever happened. Alex Morello and his group is walking away from their exclusive ownership of the inactive Coyote franchise and will have no further plans to pursue a new arena. Morello will relocate the Tucson Runners to Reno, Nevada for the 26-27 season. God, did we call it or what, Dad?
We did.
Oh, it only took...
We called that just not that long ago again.
Yeah.
I mean...
I was like... And honestly, and I overheard someone saying this at the flock party. I don't know how true it is, if I could tell you who it was or who, or where he heard it from, then I would, shout him out or something. But this is what he heard, so I don't know if this is true or not. But they were saying, I guess there's two people that are interested in buying the Coyotes expansion thing. I don't know who one of them is, but the other one who I really want to have them buy is the Angels owner, Artie Moreno. I don't know how true it is, but please, Artie, please just sell the Angels to Mark Cuban. Let him do his thing, or Stan Kroenke. I'm fine with either one. Build this franchise and actually make it what it used to be. And you can go do your thing in Arizona, because he wanted to buy the Diamondbacks before he bought the Angels.
Yeah,
So
he can go down and bring a terrible team, so we have more wins
yeah,
in the Pacific
exactly.
Division out of Arizona.
Can't believe I almost forgot to talk about that.
I was
But
going to remind you.
God, I was so happy to see that he was, and I know I'm not the only one. There's other people like Coyotes fans that are just, I think they're sad that they're probably not, it's going to take them longer to get a team, but I think they're even happier that it's not that guy doing it. So
Yeah, so you think Artie Moreno is a step up from him?
it's a step up for us being Angels fans.
Yeah, that means if he got rid of the Angels, it would be a step up for us.
Exactly. So he can go torture that franchise. I'm just
There
kidding.
you go.
I don't wish that against the Coyotes. I think they've been through enough. So I wish them to get a better owner, because I think it'd be better for the league for them to get a legit owner, not Artie Moreno.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the attendance is now compared to what it was when the Angels were halfway decent. Used to be 3 million every year. I bet you it's not even 2 million, or about 2 million. They've lost a third of the attendance going to games.
Yeah, because they're all Dodger fans now, because they're all Ohtani.
Ohtani's gone. I'm sure they lost a lot more fans.
Well, it's hard when none of their players stay. Their highest paid players never stay on the active roster.
True.
They're usually always on the IL sometime. I would say about 90% of the time, it feels like. See, this is why we didn't do the fantasy draft thing, because we're almost at 90 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to get off?
I guess no trivia this week.
Oh, that's right.
If you don't have it, we'll save it for next
No.
week.
I got it. I got it. All right. This is where we'll leave it off. Can you name the top 5 players who have played the most games that have played for the Ducks? Or not Ducks, sorry, the Kings. I don't know why I said Ducks.
5 most
Games played.
I think Kopitar has to be in there.
Kopitar's number 1.
Dustin Brown.
Number 2.
Dave Taylor.
Number 3. Or no, sorry, number 4.
Ooh, good. Hey, 3 out of the top 5 without missing one yet. Woohoo! I already feel good.
So one of them is an active player, another one is an inactive player, but they're both part of the Kings franchise right now, currently.
Well, Drew Doughty.
Drew Doughty's number 3.
Member. Okay, let me think.
He's pretty high up in the
Robitaille?
Kings. Robitaille.
I was going to say him anyways without you saying it.
Yeah, I know.
That was I was thinking I was going to guess him, but I know he went and played at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
For a few years.
So Robitaille played 1,077 games. Dave Taylor played 1,111. Doughty's played 1,177. Dustin Brown played 1,296. and Kopitar has played 1,373. Those are the only players that have played over 1,000 games. Marcel Dion played 921 with the Kings.
Yeah, well, he was at Detroit for quite a while before that.
So,
wow.
all right.
I did good.
You did great. So, all right, guys, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Quacked. Please go follow all our social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Royally Quacked. You can also listen to any of these podcasts on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Overcast, Amazon, and iHeart at Royally Quacked. Please tell your family and friends, co-workers, pets, enemies, whoever about our podcast, please. We'd love to hear from you guys. Please send us any questions you got. Send it over, and hopefully we can answer it right here on the pod. You got anything else to add?
Go Kings, go!
All right, and let's go Ducks. All right, see you guys next week.
Later.